Back in 1958, at the dawn of the space age, physicist James Van Allen discovered that the Earth is ringed by high-energy charged particles. Held in place by the planet's magnetic field, these bands of radiation were named the inner and outer Van Allen belts. They're of particular interest to NASA as they pose a potential danger to spacecraft. Now a NASA mission, also named for Van Allen, has found something new about his belts. By looping through them repeatedly, the twin Van Allen probes discovered a third band of radiation, or at least there were three. The two spacecraft uncovered the previously unknown structure in September. It consisted of fast-moving electrons situated between the two previously known Van Allen belts. The discovery was reported in the journal Science. But the new structure is no longer. 4 weeks after the probes found it, the third ring was wiped out by a strong shockwave emanating from the sun. Still, the unexpected finding shows that the Van Allen belts are more complex and variable than had been assumed, and that seemingly well-established knowledge about space still may have the capacity to surprise.
Classified advertisements placed by individuals in newspapers and magazines are not covered by the Advertising Standards Authority's Code of Practice. If you happen to buy goods that have been wrongly described in such an advertisement and have lost money as a result, the only thing you can do is bring a case against the person who placed the advertisement for misrepresentation or for breach of contract. In this case, you would use the small claims procedure, which is a relatively cheap way to sue for the recovery of a debt. If you want to pursue a claim, you should take into account whether the person you are suing will be able to pay damages, should any be awarded. Dishonest traders are aware of this and often pose as private sellers to exploit the legal loopholes that exist. That is, they may claim they are not in a position to pay damages.
The choice of stroke depends on how near the shuttlecock is to the net, and whether it is above net height. Players have much better attacking options if they can reach the shuttlecock well above net height, especially if it is also close to the net. In the forecourt, a high shuttlecock will be met with a net kill, hitting it steeply downwards and attempting to win the rally immediately. In the mid-court, a high shuttlecock will be usually met with a powerful smash, also hitting downwards and hoping for an outright winner or a weak reply. Athletic jump smashes, where players jump upwards for a steeper smash angle, are a common and spectacular element of elite men's doubles play. In the rear court, players strive to hit the shuttlecock while it is still above them, rather than allowing it to drop lower. This overhead hitting allows them to play smashes, clears, and drop shots. If the shuttlecock has dropped low, then a smash is impossible, and a full-length high clear is difficult.
Can you train someone to be a nicer person? Well, a recent study using meditation techniques shows that it might be possible. One group of subjects learned to practice what's called compassionate meditation by focusing on a specific person while repeating a phrase like, "May you be free from suffering." The subjects concentrated on 5 different people: a loved one, a friend, themselves, a stranger, and then someone they were in conflict with. Another group of subjects performed general positive thinking. Both groups did the exercise for 30 minutes a day for 2 weeks. Then everyone was asked to spend money to help a fictional character who had been treated unfairly, and the subjects who did compassionate meditation were more likely to spend their money to help than those who trained to just think more positively. The researchers also did brain scans of those who behaved most altruistically before and after training, and people who were most altruistic after training showed the biggest increase in activity in brain areas involved in empathy and positive emotion. So empathy appears to be like a muscle. It can be built up by exercise that causes actual physiological changes.
A good cup of coffee can get you out of bed in the morning. But for heart patients, coffee is often on the list of things to avoid. The American Heart Association advises that it might increase the risk of heart failure. But a new report suggests that moderate coffee drinking could actually lower the odds of heart failure. The findings are in the journal Circulation. Researchers pored through 5 studies that followed more than 140,000 European adults and included information about coffee intake. People who drank about 16 ounces of coffee a day, a grande in Starbucks speak, had about an 11% reduction of the risk of heart failure. People who drink coffee also seem to have less type 2 diabetes, another risk factor for heart disease. But that doesn't mean it's time to start ordering the venti. In the studies, people who consumed more than 40 ounces a day were at an increased risk for heart failure. More research should filter out the best info, which will percolate down to the public.